the suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in. In 1930, the records on marijuana in the Washington office of the Narcotics Division scarcely filled a small folder like this. Today, they fill cabinets.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Coloradians, and everyone that's smart enough to listen from the outside.
One of the most amazing plants we've ever discovered.
The pot party, the trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
I got weed pots.
All right.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be the first guest. You're going first.
All right.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another week of Stone Appetit. We are coming to you with the Quarantine Chronicles. We're about to do some chef shorts, is what we're going to call it, where we're going to talk with 20 or 30 minutes with each chef that works here in the Denver area, talk a little bit about the scene that's going on. And our first chef, I'm honored to say, is a friend of mine, Tommy Lee. And the best part about this is we've kind of had a trial run, so we should be excellent at this by the second wave.
Verbatim.
Yeah. I mean, if only my brain worked that well. And but I could barely remember what we did, but I know that we had a killer episode yesterday and somehow I botched it. So we're back for round two, and you are the first guest in the hot seat. So I appreciate you joining us. For those that don't know Tommy, Tommy is the chef and proprietor at not only Hop Alley down in Rhino, you'll have seen a lot of our pictures online, but also Uncle Ramen in the Highlands and down in Wash Park. I say down because I'm Colfax crew, but there's some of the best fucking foods you can get in Denver. I've repeatedly said Hop Alley is my favorite restaurant in Denver, and so now we're going to pick Tommy's brain a little bit about the current climate scene, this and that, all and everything else. So Tommy, I appreciate you joining us, brother.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Again, yeah, sorry. So you can just start billing me. Yeah, I mean, since yesterday was his day off. But yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about, let's kind of dive right into it. How's business? How's life? Kind of tumultuous times out there.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to make the best out of it. And I think we've been lucky and grateful that our customer base has, kept us going, and we've been pretty busy, which is awesome. And I hope they're all supporting their other favorite restaurants as well. But yeah, we're just trying to make the best out of it. Uncle's been doing takeout and delivery for a good, 3, 4, 5, 6 years now. So it wasn't that difficult to pivot there. Hop Alley, we've been doing takeout and delivery for, maybe a year and a half. So we were used to it. But switching the entire model to takeout over there was a little more difficult just because the food is a little harder to execute, but the team's rolling with it, and they're doing a great job and having fun, as much fun as we can, while still trying to stay really safe and follow all the protocols.
Staying safe and staying sane is kind of like you're having to juggle a little bit of both of them. Oh, is that a cat or a dog?
Cat. It was a cat.
That was huge. I was like, shit, look at it. I think I just had my dog run in and out. So I mean, that's
Tiger King.
No shit. And that's going to be a question I'm going to pick your brain in about a minute is favorite Netflixes. But yeah, I do feel that y'all have that, y'all do have that going for you. Not only, dank food, and I feel that ramen does actually translate well because once you get it in like the two different containers, you can just kind of congeal everything together in a homemade bowl, and you're playing with you're cooking with hot grease again.
We actually started putting these little note cards with the uncle delivery or pickups and deliveries of the best way to like heat up your food when you get home, because maybe if you're driving home or whatever. So we're giving people a little bit of guidance just to have it the best it can be.
I mean, that's probably smart, because I know a lot of people are going with, let's say that not everybody goes out to eat, but not everybody cooks at home. Right. It's fast food and it's pizza and this and that. But when you are able to have some of the danker things that are more readily available, like you'll have, a wider net for delivery, and we'll dive into that and things of that nature. But ramen is not always the first thing that someone thinks of delivery. It's usually like pizza or just like the basic Chinese foods, like your
when I opened Uncle, 8 years ago or 7 years ago, like I didn't even intend doing ramen to go. And then, of course, the first day we opened and someone's like, hey, can I get this to go? I'm like, I guess else.
Be like, let me see what I have back here to put that in.
Yeah. So, it took us some time to like get to the best procedure to make it okay at home. But yeah, I think for what it is, we do a pretty good job.
And, you kind of mentioned it earlier, which y'all have done the takeout and delivery thing, but it is, some companies are having to figure out how to, coincide or switch their models up. I know one thing that also has been very successful is y'all had something on the menu on Friday, and I feel weird because I feel like this is a reciting thing, but it's something that needs to be said. I called in early as shit to get the special of the day, and y'all had already sold out. So I knew that y'all were on to something, and I think it was the short rib beef noodle or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was curious, are y'all doing are y'all mixing up the menu, or how does this work at both restaurants alike, or all three, excuse me? What's it look like for the takeout menu?
I mean, over at Hop Alley, probably 60% of the menu is stays the same. It's the kind of the classics and the favorites. And then, we'll change things seasonally or whenever we feel like it. But the kitchen over there, Jeff and the guys have taken, this opportunity of us being a little slower to take the time to work on new stuff and put up specials and keep people excited. And, the reception's been great. I think we were talking about, we had that pork shoulder dinner special for like $80 and, we sold like 15 of them on Saturday. Like, it was crazy. And I know some people, I think I've ordered it twice in 1 week. So I think, over there, just to keep things interesting, and people are definitely still excited about eating out. So we're going to keep pushing it every week with specials. Uncle, it's a little different. The menu doesn't change as often. But people, that's kind of your everyday place. So people like their staples. We'll throw up specials every once in a while. Like last week we did the cold sesame noodles, which has been on the menu for 7-8 years. We decided to sell it for $8 one night, and like we sold like 5 times as many as we usually would. So
you're like, oh shit.
people are panic buying even those things, I guess.
Be like, oh, well, if it's $8, you got to at least give it a whirl. It's kind of like throwing a pancake in the middle of the table.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it interesting, and then along with the build, allowing people to sell alcohol, we're running a lot of bottles of wine and sake and cocktails at special prices that match retail pricing better, just so people will order those things as well. So,
and I feel like, and I think everyone could agree that usually alcohol brings in a large amount of the revenue for restaurants. When you have the dine-in service available, y'all have discounted bottles of wine, and then y'all are serving the fire. I saw the pictures online. Y'all have some fire drinks that are coming out of that bar as well, like in the boba cups, like ready to go. Just add ice.
The funniest part of that is we had that boba cup sealer when we opened. And I had to order 10,000 labels that was the minimum. And so before we opened 4 years ago, a pallet of labels shows up at the restaurant. My bar manager's like, what am I supposed to do with all these? I was like, don't worry, we'll use them. And so this is like the perfect timing.
Is this the first time y'all have ever been like, holy shit, we've had these things back in stock in the back of the fridge or the back of the closet forever?
Yep. And the first day we rolled that out, and like I posted that picture on Instagram, we got calls from like 2 other places. They're like, how did you guys do that? Or what are you guys using? I was like, it's from China. You don't want to know.
Be like, we got this well before.
That's kind of been a blessing that we had that thing to start with. So now it's super easy to serve cocktails to go in it.
I like it. And so you're thinking kind of on your feet. And so obviously a lot of restaurants are, and y'all have had a little bit of, I guess name recognition in the fact that y'all do have dank ass food. And then obviously now y'all have had the best way to, y'all have had the platform already set up for takeout and delivery and things of that nature. So it's grooving. But is this, a model that, how long is this sustainable? Like, will we be able to stay afloat? Like, I'm kind of gauging all of y'all's kind of opinions on how long do we think this is going to last? What do we think is going to happen to this?
I guess my thought and my hope is the more and more, people are forced to stay home, the more they're going to want to actually order out because they're going to get tired of cooking at home and, tired of going to the grocery store, and they can, basically it seems like most places are staying open and trying to do this so you can get your favorite meals, even though it's not the same experience, but at least you can get that comfort of, having those experiences. I think, thinking about it, like this whole situation has caused like all of the parts of your business to kind of come to fruition if you've had them being built up, like as far as social media and having, a great POS system and having, partnerships with like Postmates and DoorDash, because now we're having to like exploit every single part of those facets to like really make the business work. And like for us, like social media has been, really big. We have a good number of followers on, our Instagram, and every time we post a special, people kind of freak out, which is nice. And then,
dude, the specials have been delicious. I freaked out a little bit.
And then we use Toast for our POS system, which has been super easy to set up, like online ordering and delivering, all that. So it's really easy to implement that. And then, we
usually give out free ads, but I'll allow that one. Way to go, Toast.
Toast, pay me.
Yeah, right.
And then, I decided, instead of fighting, these third-party deliveries over the years, about 3 years ago, I decided I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to, sign up for a partnership and negotiate a deal and make it work for us. And now it's kind of helping us a lot. So, because I know a lot of people that didn't have that because, they thought it was bullshit, which, those services are kind of bullshit, but, it took 3-4 days to even try to get signed up for one, once
shit hit the fan recently.
Yeah. Once shit hit the fan. So we were lucky to be ahead of the curve in that way.
Yeah. And, I think the one thing that y'all have, that's just another thing that y'all have kind of been ahead of the curve. But at the same time, y'all have been, moderately successful in the past. So it's kind of a tried and true method. So it's not hard.
Yeah, it didn't scare us at all to pivot to this.
Exactly. It sucks, obviously, nonetheless.
Yeah. But we're scared of other things that are out of our control, but at least all the things that are in our control, we already had nailed down for the most part.
Well, you know what? So you're going to be the first Chronicle to be dropped, and that's tomorrow morning on Tuesday. For I guess last day of March. For those that are listening now, it's for the April push. What should they expect this week? Before I start asking you a couple personal questions, I'll ask you one more restaurant. We got anything that's going to be popping off either tonight or for our listeners that are tuning in this week?
I think we still have some of those pork shoulder dinners at Hop Alley. But that's, outside of like our normal customers, we're trying to link up with this. I can't remember what the name of it is, but we're basically trying to take meals to hospitals to help feed nurses and doctors.
Nice.
So we got that coming up, I think, next week. And then we're also doing another charity, or somewhat charity, but we're trying to. There's a kind of like a not halfway house, but a transition housing charity where their group kitchen got shut down by the coronavirus thing. So we're trying to provide meals for them as well.
And if somebody wants to help or donate to help out on this cause, can they go to the website, make a donation, anything like that? Because, you've inspired me and I'm the uninspirable.
Let me look up what it's called. Give me one sec.
I'll give you that time, and then I'll also ask you this brain buster. But I can sing for our listeners at home. I was listening to Take Me Home, I Wanna Let You.
The transition housing is called Joshua's Station.
Okay.
And just one of my friends is involved with it.
All right.
And the one for the nurses, which I know some people have already done, is called...
So for our listeners at home, Joshua Station, Google them, check them out if you want to make a donation, if you want to see how you can help. They're being affected. Their kitchen has been closed down because of the virus, and they don't have the means to help support these folks. Not necessarily a halfway house, but an in-betweener to help people get back on their feet. Everybody needs a little help, especially in trying times.
Yeah, the Joshua Station is I think it's like 60 or 70 people, but like 23 of them are kids.
See, there we go. Come on, folks. There we go. We're using the platform for good. And that's a great point because I'm about to ask you some really stupid fucking questions. So I figure we might as well get the wholesome part out of the way.
Oh, and before the other one is called Lunches for Clinicians.